Tips Corner. Welcome back. And if you are new, welcome. In my last two videos, I showed making this cover. This journal cover is going to, and here, scoot this aside, I guess, so you can see it a little better. This is going to be called, this journal is going to be called Secrets. I think after the video, I added another piece of trim here, but basically she's done unless I add more to it. But yeah. So this is going to be the journal title is going to be Secrets. And so to go along with Secrets, I thought I would create just a couple pages to put inside the book that have secret hiding places or tuck spots. And so this is the first of probably a couple series, a couple videos that I'll do as I'm making some of those tucks and hides. Nothing I'm getting ready to show you is new or created by me. These are ideas that I have seen, some of them forever, in various places. And so it's actually very difficult to even give the appropriate credit. But again, ideas that have been around forever. I'm just going to show you my interpretation of what I'm doing for my journal. For this journal, I'm going to be using one of the primary kits that I'm going to use is a new kit by Lorna Taylor at Taylor Made Journals, and it is called The Calligrapher's Garden. And so part of what I'm doing in this book is I've always had a thing for typography and fonts and calligraphy, you know, just all of the beauty that is connected to typography. And so I'm going to be incorporating a lot of that, a lot of cool fonts and a lot of things like that in the book. And so when I saw Lorna's kit, I just had to grab it because it's absolutely perfect for my vision for the inside of this book. So with that, what I'm going to do, here's a page that I printed out on a cardstock. And what I've done is actually, you can see it on the back side, is I've created this little hidden spot here. And this one just has a little tag in it that I put together. It's got painter's masking paper on the back and just some little cluster of some stuff there that I can explain more. And I just have to, a little button there. It's a skinny button, but I just need to coax that along a little bit. But anyway, this is just a completely hidden, only it's really not hidden because you can totally see it. But the idea is that that's a secret spot. That's a secret place. And then on the other side, I just have, you can see some of the sewing coming through, and I just have this pocket that I've added here and another pocket with some vintage, it's not really lace, it's crochet, maybe, I don't even know, just a vintage piece, and then the front. And so what I'm going to do is make another one. I'm going to do the second one a little different, but the theory and how you make it is pretty much the same. So I have a printout here. I have another page from Lorna's kit. Again, it's called The Calligrapher's Garden, and here's the back side. And I've not trimmed this or anything. All I did was fold it in half. So I will do all the trimming and finishing after I've created this pocket. You can see on the back side that I have a little pencil square. That's the piece that is going to be the tuck area. And I think on this one, I'm going to make it a two-sided open slot as opposed to a slit. So I think I'll do a square like that. But basically that just helps me, remind me where to leave open for glue when I'm gluing this. Because what I'm going to do is I've got this piece of scrap left over from a printout. I'm going to, which is also not trimmed out, I'm going to adhere this page to this side so that when you open this, it's not open all the way, it's not, you can't see through it, that there's a backer behind it. All right, that's the plan. And in this case, this is the same thing. This is a separate piece, and this is a separate piece, and they are adhered together. Now on this one, I did a full sheet where I stuck them together, and it caused this front to be really stiff because I printed this paper on a cardstock. And so I didn't want to go quite so thick on this one, so I'm just going to put it on half of the paper, and on the other half, I'll do something else here. But that gives you an idea, and so that way when you push this in, you're not seeing it through on this back side. So that makes sense, I hope. I hope. One of the things that I want to do before I get too far is I want to protect, or I want to add some reinforcement, I should say, to where my cut marks will stop. And in this case, I think they'll be here and here. So I'm going to do two things, actually. The first is I'm going to glue a piece of washi tape on that back side, and that'll just give it a little bit of extra protection. I'm gluing it because I don't want to take the chance of that washi tape coming off after I put this together, because it'll be sandwiched between. And so since I've drawn my corners, I get a pretty good idea of where I want that to be. And so I'm just going to put that there. And the other one is down here. And I just got done saying I'm going to glue this, and then I stuck that on and didn't glue it. So, all right, let's glue it. Let's put some glue on here. And it doesn't need much. It just needs enough to just give it that extra stickum. All right, let's see. How easy will this come off? So if it comes off pretty easy, then I definitely want to, pull it up and add some glue. It comes off pretty easy. All right, so let me get some glue on that and stick it back down. I'm not sure if it matters much which direction I go in, and it definitely doesn't matter if it's straight or not, because you really won't see it. Again, it's going to be sandwiched. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is open this up so I don't cut through the back. I'm going to go to those corners, and I'm going to put little circles, poke circle holes. Now, I don't know if you can see that, and not quite frankly, the circles do sort of reveal this as a pocket because you can see them fairly well. But what they do is they prevent or will help reinforce where the cut mark stops here, so it's not as easy to tear. And that's really more important to me. I mean, if you can see the secret tuck spot, the world is not going to come to an end. So I'm okay with this. I have a really old Making Memories. I don't know if anybody's familiar. Making Memories was a company that was around, oh my goodness, a long time ago. And I don't even know how long they've been out of business, but they are out of business. And this is a hole puncher. You push down on the top and it spins and punches. And it just so happens to be a little tiny hole. That's what I did here. And it's really the only thing I've got that has that small of a hole. So I'm going to use that. And I'm just going to go right here to this corner of where I'm planning to cut. Now you could also cut your lines first, but okay, that's really loud. So I went ahead and just popped those corners. And you can see now where they came through on the other side, right there in my line of sight for the holes. Now on this one, I think I'm going to go ahead and cut this from the back side. I'm going to leave this mat underneath here. And I'm going to put the stopper in my glue. I'm using an X-Acto knife to cut. And I'm going to cut from where I want my corner to be down. And since I drew these lines with a ruler, I'm going to go ahead and cut them following that line that I drew. And I'm putting my edge of my ruler right smack dab in the middle of that hole that was punched. And that should be all the way through. And now I'm going to do the same over here. If I can get that lined up. I think I'm straight-ish. I don't know how straight my original line was. There you go. And now I have this little, it's not quite straight, but that's okay. I don't think it will be that noticeable. Hopefully not anyway. Now I'm going to go ahead again because, because it's not quite as straight as I would have liked it. I'm just going to go ahead and put just a little bit of ink right there on that edge just to help perhaps hide it a little. And then we'll put some on this edge as well. Now I got one line pretty straight. I should have cut it from the front probably. It would have been easier to get straight. Go ahead and put a little color on here. Okay. All right. Next thing I want to do is now on this one, of course, I just did a single slit all the way across, and that created a pocket. And then I left my glue spot open so that I had an open spot for something to slide in and out of. And this one, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to avoid gluing in that area, but it's just not going to be a pocket. And I'll be putting it on there like that. So when you flip open this, you're not flipping open to a full see-through all the way. So that when you have something in there, it wouldn't be this. You won't be able to see it from the other side. So I hope that makes sense. All right, so let's, and I think I'm going to try to use, this glue, and I'm just coming above, I don't know, and maybe, what is that? About 1/8 of an inch, it's about 1/4 of an inch away from those lines, those pocket lines. And so there'll be no glue in that whole area. All right, so I'm just gonna come down here. Get some glue in here. Go all the way around the edges. Get nice and close there. And then from there, I'm just gonna do some squigglies. I think this will work. Make sure I didn't go over. I did just a tiny bit there. Okay, now I'm going to slide this in. See, make sure I'm top. I'm just going to fold that. And then get it. I'm not real worried about it being straight up to down because this all gets trimmed. But I do want this edge to be right at my fold line. So hopefully I got that. And now I'm just going to run over this with a roller. Just to give it some squoosh. Yeah, I think that works. Simple project. Now this is ready to trim out. And I have my tuck spot here, and I've got that those reinforcement both by way of washi tape and adding the curved edge or the circle at the end of the cut line. So let's see. I looked. Let me see. Here's a card. This is probably too big for this spot. But this is just a little journaling card that I've got ready to go for this journal, and that tucks right in there. Now that's not very secret, so perhaps it's something more like, that's not dry yet, so I want to be careful, but something shorter, just smaller piece, you know, something this size. I don't know. I will play later with what goes in there, and maybe it does tuck out a little bit. I don't think that that's a problem. I'm not so set on no secrets that it's a problem. All right, I'm going to go ahead and trim this, and I'm just going to come in. Plenty of room there. I'm not worried about the size here. I'm going to trim off some of this excess because it is a, yeah, see, I'm not completely straight. Wasn't completely straight there. Make sure, yeah. We'll trim this. And this is ready to finish off, and it's done. So this will be inside of a journal somewhere. And so this page, these pages won't be side by side. Let's see, we'll round the corners. And then I'll go ahead and ink the edges on this probably. Just because of the extra page that's glued in here, I want to get that white off of that edge. And that's done. Simple as that. So hidden tuck spots, and I'll do some more to these, but hidden tuck spots. Here's one that's more of a pocket. And then here's the other one, which is more of just a tuck that you could tuck a secret in. And this is a pocket to tuck a secret in. So that's it. It's just as simple as that. Just a nice little hidden tuck spot. And what I did really was just sort of pay attention to what was going on the page a little bit and followed that lead to figure out where to put them. And they are simple to do. So I hope you enjoyed this, and more to come on some more hidden tuck spot type places, because there's going to be a few of them, I think, throughout this book, this journal. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Bye.